human character for me.
I thought you were going to go with Noah. That surprises me.
I will log off right now.
All right.
Are we trying to start the Omega Supreme thing with Optimus Prime with me? Yeah. I mean, I look at it as if that is red or orange, whatever. Like I said, I do want to see clearer shots, but that's the fire building up in his throat as it about to come out.
And I really want to know the size of those boxes, so I could find some Black Legends figures that will fit in there to be his little minions. Welcome back, Transformers fans. We're back with another round of news. You know me, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And before we get into the news, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button. We're still trying to get to 500 before TFCon, and we really appreciate you joining us on this journey. Enough of that. Let's get into some news. First thing, we have Hasbro PulseCon 2023, and they've come out with a promotional teaser trailer. I mean, it's really weird to call it a teaser trailer when it's a convention and not like a video game or a movie or something, but whatever. I really like their whole it's on sprues type of aesthetic that they did with this. I thought that was really neat. And it's going to be hosted by Thew Adams and I think it's Grant Wilson. I might be wrong with that guy's name. They're both pretty big toy YouTubers. I've been watching them for years, which might make me a little more interested to tune in, but honestly, I'll probably just tune in for the Transformer one. No hate to anybody at Hasbro. What about you, Bobby?
I'm only in for the Transformer part. That's all I collect from Hasbro, so that's pretty easy for me. I'm not too familiar with those people, so hopefully they keep my interest. Otherwise, I will probably be watching it with the sound off. I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming they're going to be like last time where they were the hosts and then they said, all right, Transformers team, take it away. And then it's a normal Fan Tuesday just at PulseCon.
Yeah, so I'll be watching it on mute, like I said. So no, I think really I'm excited. We've had all these leaks that we've talked about, that other people have talked about, so I'm anxious to see what they are. I guess I'm sure we'll get into probably what we're looking for as it gets closer, but I always get excited about these.
Yeah.
Even if I'm disappointed afterwards.
Yeah, and so for specifically Transformers, let me read you verbatim what Hasbro posted. They said, we're kicking off a momentous celebration of product, 40 years of Transformers products. So that is pretty big. Join the Hasbro Transformers marketing and design teams as they unite over the next chapter of Transformers Legacy Generations line, the leaks that you just talked about. The festivities continue as we induct a new member of Hall of Fame, quite a legendary human. That better be a voice actor, Peter Cullen, and not a character, because if it's a character, I hate Transformer characters in these TV shows. They're so boring. They're just for us, the fans, to pretend we're in them, and I hate it. But I hope it's the voice actor.
Oh, well, as someone who calls himself Bot, I have no problem with it being Peter Cullen, who is the Bot. I don't even, honestly, I really haven't paid attention much to the Hall of Fame, even though I did vote this time. Yes, so if we ever revisit that, I'll tell you who I voted for. But I couldn't tell you the human characters, but I would always say, like, Spike from G1. I mean, that's the human character for me.
I thought you were going to go with Noah. That surprises me.
I will log off right now.
All right. Well, before he does that, let's get into what has been just announced. And the first thing is clothes. So Fun.com has officially licensed Transformers clothing. So if you look for Transformers on their site, they have a lot of overpriced pop and normal figures, legacy figures, but they also have some clothes. So they've got some onesies as Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, some backpacks, and some slippers that I think you should get.
I actually might get those slippers while you're being funny.
I wasn't
mean,
joking about that. I
no.
wasn't being funny. I think you should really get those.
I
Sorry,
actually,
my sarcasm.
I don't know how much they cost, but like if they're like 10, 15, maybe $20,
And I think they might be cheap because if we go here, they have the suit jacket that I think you should also get. And I'm not joking. I think it kind of fits your aesthetic. And it's $60, which I don't think is that bad for a suit jacket. The only thing I don't like about it is that Autobot logo on the cuff. That's a little tacky. But to each their own. And then I guess this looks like a Optimus Prime Christmas sweater, if you ask me.
Oh man. So the funny thing is, for those who don't know, or I've mentioned it maybe once or twice, I'm professionally known as the tie guy. So Monday through Thursday, I'm in a tie. So that blazer, wouldn't be too bad. I agree with you on the Autobot sign on the sleeve. That is a little bit big. And
if it was gray or something, I think that'd be a different story. But with it being bright red, it's a little distracting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I guess I'll have to check it out and see if I get some more gear.
Yeah. I mean, it's not expensive. So it's not like that other clothing line we looked at. I think that was the last episode.
Bobby somebody, not me.
Yeah.
But I actually went and looked at some of that stuff. Yeah, not gonna be able to do it.
How much was the price?
I didn't even look at the price. I just looked at the design. I was like, yeah, not gonna be able to do it. So,
well, yeah. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's very happy for it, and more power to you. And Noah's probably their favorite Transformer character. So, I'm not too sure what this is, but I have to say, Japan knows how to make anything cool. And they made Rise of the Beasts look really awesome. And I took the translation from what I found on this post, which says the cover of the new issue of Oru is now available. Beast Awakening, which is Rise of the Beasts in Japan. All character book. The contents include 4-panel comics, character introductions, collaboration, cafe reviews, and much more. Currently in production at AHC 18 on October 29th. So I'm assuming this is going to be sold there. And honestly, that would be something I would get. If they had a fun, comic type of thing that had each character and it showed their motives and all that stuff, and it was in this style, even if it's Rise of the Beasts and it was a convention exclusive like at TFCon, I might pick it up. If it's comic book priced.
Well, the first thing I noticed, well, maybe not the first thing, but what's been catching my attention is how big those wings are on Nightbird. And I'm saying, top left corner. I know that's what you wish the Hasbro figures were. So that's the first thing that caught my eye, is just how big those wings are, appropriate size, and how itty bitty bitty they are on the figure. So I don't think I would pick this up, but it doesn't necessarily look bad. I'm not a comic book collector, for one, and then I'm not a Beast Wars fan, so that kind of puts me out. But it looks good for what it is, I guess.
I don't think you need to be a Beast Wars fan. I think you need to be a movie fan, because I take offense to that. But the reason why I would want this is because it reminds me of my childhood, where they had a G1 and Beast Wars, comic that you'd pick up, and there'd be multiple issues, and it would go alphabetically through every character, and it would have a bio, their weapons and abilities, and their weaknesses, and it showed off. And I loved those. I loved stuff like that. So that's why I would get this, just because I think all that lore is fun, and I think that's why I like some of these weird characters that you've never heard of, because I read about them in that book.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense, because I'm like, James, how do you know all this stuff?
I used to read those all over. Anyways, let's move on to another weird thing. This is a Transformer Glamour Studio 2024 calendar, and it is available on the Lulu bookstore. So you can go to lulu.com, and I'm assuming it's a funny take on those firefighter calendars, but with Transformers.
So a friend of ours is totally in on this, and I think I actually may get it and send it to him. But I don't know. I think those seekers in that pose right there is hilarious, in both poses actually. So, I don't know if I will pick this up, but it's tempting, just because.
I feel the same way. I don't have a calendar in here. And I don't know what of a better calendar I could have than this. It does look funny. Depends on the price.
Yeah.
Because these things can go up to $50.
Not going to be able to do it.
But if it's $15,
I'll be able to do it.
I'd be more inclined. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, let's get into some actual figures. And first, we have a DNA Design upgrade kit, DK48, for Rise of the Beast Scourge. And it does do a lot. But not so much in this picture. It still looks the same. But you could still see it cleans it up a little bit. You can see some cleanup,
yeah.
Yeah. But this is where things really change. So I think, you know how they come out with those designer things where they talk about how they design the character?
Yep.
Well, Scourge was based on concept art, which is why he doesn't look like he does in the movie. Which I think explains a lot when you look at Nightbird and all of them. But that's another story. This is night and day between the two of them.
It really is.
If this is how the original Scourge came out, I probably would have picked it up because it looks cool.
It definitely looks better. It looks a lot better. And I'm not just saying that. It's still not for me, but it does look a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. And here's all the pieces you come with, and here's a better picture. I'm just not spending $55 on the leader, who's the size of a Voyager, to get $20, $30 of parts and put it on it. I would rather wait for the third party to come out with a masterpiece, or Takara. If Takara comes out with a masterpiece of this, that's another story too. I don't see them doing it, but they might. And then I'd pick it up. Because this is just too small. Because I do like his design. Taking away the movie, stripping him from the movie, the design is interesting.
I wouldn't pick it up. I'm not a fan. I like the head. That's about it.
I think that's my favorite part.
I don't like the claw thing.
Well, the claw goes away. That's why I can deal with it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. I literally would have to see a masterpiece version of this.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only way. Yeah. Unless this was the stock original, the stock retail version that you could get, because then I would have picked this up for $55. But ain't doing it for nearly $100.
Not gonna be able to do it. That's my theme right now. It looks like.
Well, will you be able to do this? So this is Magic Square's Optimus Prime in the toy deco.
I mean, are we trying to start the Omega Supreme thing with Optimus Prime with me? Yes, I have a pre-order in for this. Okay, there, you got me. Yes, I have a pre-order in for this. And I have a pre-order in for the Missing Link for both of them. So now I have 3 Primes coming at some point in time.
Well, I'm just going to say I don't think that it's never Optimus Prime year for you. There's always going to be Optimus Primes you're going to buy.
Yeah, but not so close together.
Especially with the same deco. Even if they're completely different figures. I think this looks really good. I really like the finish. I really like the card that's coming with it too. I don't know if you saw that card. I think it's really cool. The alt mode is really clean and perfect. I have this in Ultra Magnus. I think it's great. And shots like this are the reason why I purchased that Ultra Magnus. This posability is insane on this figure. Yeah, I'm not picking it up. I do think the tampos on the arm, the forearms and knees look a little cheap. I wish they were sculpted in or something. I get why they're not, but either which way, this still looks good.
I just hope they're not stickers. That's all.
At least this is easier than those racing cars.
Well, I was also thinking about the car version having stickers.
And at least that's easier than those X-Transbot racing cars.
I mean, yeah, they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be, so and I think I did a good job. So, but yeah,
You
I
did.
am in on this, and this actually makes sense because I was holding out on the Ultra Magnus for an EX version with more diecast in it, like the other version of Prime, and it makes sense of why it's taking so long for that to come out because they were working on this.
Yeah, I will probably pick up that EX version. I think we talked about this before. When I bought that Ultra Magnus, the EX Prime was not announced. And then they announced it, and I was like, God dang it. So now I have to go buy another Ultra Magnus. That hopefully is the same color white throughout the whole thing. All right. Let's move on. And we've got this. So this is, they're calling it MP08SG. It's a KO oversized Shattered Glass Grimlock. All right, we'll hold off talking about the other ones. There are 2 other decos, which we'll talk about later. A little bit of foreshadowing. But this one isn't coming out soon, as far as we know. What do you think about this?
Pre-order is in. That was a very easy one. I don't have a Masterpiece Shattered Glass Grimlock, so this was an easy pull for me of the trigger. So I love the teal on the feet in the bot mode. I love the purple, and I do want to see some clearer pictures, but yeah, they had me at Gur. So
I really like this, but I'm torn. I don't need it in my collection. I don't have a Shattered Glass collection. I got the Cyclonus, but that's not part of Shattered Glass. It's part of another shelf. And I don't like that red neck it has. I think that should be orange like the chest. That's really throwing me off on that beast mode. There's no clear red that I can see anywhere else. And maybe it's pre-production sample. I don't know. But that's really throwing me off. But I want it. The price is right. It's only about $90. I just don't know. There might be something else that might be more important than this. But I'll probably just throw a pre-order in for the heck of it.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as if that is red or orange, whatever. Like I said, I do want to see clearer shots, but that's the fire building up in his throat as it's about to come out. So I'm good with it. Yeah, bring it on.
All right, well, I'm glad you're good with it. Let's keep going to some updates. So we've got some things for you first, because I don't remember why, but you said you had to go to the dentist, and do you need some Novocaine in your life?
Really? This is what we're going to talk about right now? Where is this disconnect? I'm about to pull my Ethernet cord out of here.
Yeah.
Where's the Wi-Fi button? Let me hit power on.
Yeah,
that.
you better go find that. And it's the lighter one, I guess, because it has the messed up head, and they look identical.
Cash grab.
Or they just couldn't figure out anything else to make for the movie. I mean, they could have at least given it a different head. Even I don't know. I mean, it does have a different head. Let me take that back. It has a battle damage head, but I think they could have given it, maybe a packing in the box with the alternative unique head. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to. I think you just said this was your favorite character earlier in this, and that's Noah. And let's talk about how much of a parts for this. It might not parts for to transform, but goodness gracious, they just added a jet so they could call it a transformer.
Wow. This is terrible. This is so terrible. I can't. Honestly, this is what happened when I was a kid, when they started coming out with Pretenders and all that type of things. This is what it was feeling like to me. So that actually made me leave Transformers, so when you start, it's one thing if it's like the action figure, like a Super 7 or something like that, but to put it in the Transformer line, can't.
Yeah, I would be okay with it. I don't know if you remember, but in Energon there was, I believe it was a kicker toy, but he came with a bike that was a fully functioning Transformer.
Mhm.
And that was pretty cool. I just don't understand why they made Noah look like a Transformer. Take all that budget from that jet and make him look like a Marvel legend. You know, go get one of their designers, and it could be a whole collaboration thing where it looks more real. Because this just looks like a Transformer, which obviously nothing against Transformers. That's all I do nowadays. But, well, go ahead and pick up your wallet because you're going to buy 3 of these things. But I think they could have done some sort of collaboration just to make it look a little less like a robot and more like a guy in armor, like it's supposed to be.
I don't know, and those feet on him are humongous. Honestly, if I didn't know, I would say, oh, this is a mini Primal. You know, just with the colors and those big old feet, I would think it was a beast. You know.
Yeah, and I am not gonna lie, if this was repainted as something else, I think I would like it.
If it was repainted as something that wasn't a Transformer,
you'd like it. If it was a
a
mask
G.I.
figure
Joe.
or something.
G.I. Joe, you know, that's like his hang glider or something like that.
And maybe that'll be in the next movie. We'll have to see. Let's
Yeah.
move on to some XM Studios G1 RC and Prowl statues. And these are really cool because I've seen multiple photos and they all have different arms. So as you can see, Prowl's holding that shield. Another one, you could take off the arm and you put on a normal arm. RC has her pistol in her hand, but you could take it off, and then she has a sniper and she's holding the gun out in her other arm. I really like those posability options, and I honestly really like these. I think a shield like that should be like a requirement for Prowl. I think that is such a neat idea. I know it probably doesn't fit your idea of a G1 Prowl, but I think it's really cool. At least Barricade should have one. I don't know. And that RC looks like the Flame Toys RC, which we talked about, which we both think looks nice.
I think both of these statues look absolutely amazing. I would be all over these if I was a statue collector, and I'm sure the price is something ridiculous in terms of what I would consider ridiculous for a statue. These things are beautiful, and I do not like the police sign. That's too human-like. He's not.
God, it's a shield.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know.
Transformers can't have shields.
Well, it's. You might as well. Are we gonna put a riot mask on him too, and give him some, some.
That makes sense.
Some beanbag guns.
See, I always see all them as having armor and putting that stuff on them. So we could agree to disagree, because a beanbag gun would make sense when the Decepticons started rioting for the first time.
Well,
they didn't know that they were going to shoot him.
I will say this: I wish Prowl had the shield in the movie. Then maybe he would have made it to the next episode.
Oh, I thought you meant the live action movies. I'm like, he wasn't in those.
No,
but
no.
now,
yes, smoky eyes. So
no, Hasbro needed him dead.
Yeah, clearly. So, but no, I think both of these statues look amazing. I would love to see these in person.
Yeah, and I wish
I probably wouldn't, because then I might be tempted. So, no, keep these away from me.
Yeah, don't bring them near Bobby. All right, moving on, we've got Fortress Maximus. So it is getting a reissue, I guess, at Hasbro Pulse for $199.99, which I think is a lot more than what it originally was when it came out. And I got the email. I said, oh, I don't have one. Let me just look at it. Not that I really wanted it. I want the Grand Max. But I still clicked on it, and it was already sold out. So this sold out in 2 seconds. So I guess there's a lot of you out there that want it. So let us know if you picked up one.
I actually saw it and clicked on it because I wanted to see what else, and they actually had them available. So I guess I was probably early, and I didn't click on it. I wish I would have now. No, I don't. But they're still available at other places. At least I've seen them available at other places still, but they are more expensive than what I initially paid for mine. I think my initially was like $159 or something like that, but I guess it's inflation. And with that being said, they can re-release a whole bunch of these figures if they chose to.
And make a lot of money.
Yes.
So let's move on. We've got Power Link's Hot Shot and The Wrong Jolt that I'm still salty about. This is from the PulseCon exclusive. I'm glad it's one I don't want. I know you'll probably can't wait to pick this thing up. And since you're the premium member, why don't you get two, one in alt mode and one in bot mode? But I will be passing. I do have to say I like that alt mode though. I think that looks really nice with the guns on the side.
I actually like the bot mode with his guns. Those are nice guns, and I like the blast effects on it. The guns make a huge difference on this figure. I will not be picking this up still. And yes, I am a premium member, whatever it's called, premier, premium, whatever it's called. But the only reason I would pick up two is because you asked me to pick up one for you, and you wanted to give one away to somebody else. So I am not picking this up at all. I would pick up those guns though.
Honestly, if it had the right mini-con, I might be like, pick me one up. But it has the wrong mini-con. So why would I pick this up? I'll pick up the original at TFCon if I really wanted it.
If it's $20, I'd get it.
You know this thing's going to be like 40.
That's why I'm not getting it. If it was $20, I'd get it.
All right, well, let's move on to some more interesting things. And we just did an episode on this, so if you haven't seen it, go back and look it up. So we're going to touch on it a little bit. We've got Fans Toys Viper and Jester, the last two. And Jester comes with all of the combiner parts for a whopping $400. Anything else you want to say about this, Bobby?
Take my money. You got me. I'm already in. So I think this is also a sign that the Minosaur, the last bot for Minosaur Dead End, is probably going to be $400 or so as well, and contain all the combiner parts. So you guys got me.
Yep. I think you are correct. So go watch that video if you haven't. We go through this in detail.
Yeah.
So let's keep going, and let's keep on this masterpiece news with Big Load X Transbots MX46. So this is the alt mode. Looks fine. And this is the bot mode. What are your thoughts? Because
I know this is a test mode, I'm hoping that the color comes out a little bit brighter and greener, more like the Decepticon, the Constructicons. But I think it looks really, really good. I love the posability. I mean, that knee is like he's a martial artist throwing a high knee, a flying knee like that. I'm used to him having some type of back cover, and so it looks like it almost completely disappears, which is a new look for him, in my opinion. I'm in on this Devastator set though, and I can't believe it because I have so many Devastators, but I don't care. I'm in for it, and I like it. I really do like it.
All right, well, I'm glad to hear you like it, because I think his name is very, very appropriate, because it is a big load of you-know-what. I'm taking the colors away. I know that's test shot. The posability is fine. I hate the proportions on this thing. This looks horrible. I think Long Haul should be this big, bulky, like the bronze of the group. That's what I've always seen him as. And this guy looks like he's going to go do your books in an accounting firm. He's so skinny. He doesn't have any... They don't have muscle mass, but he doesn't have that bulk that I would want out of the Long Haul. And I know it's toon accurate. I'm not denying that. I'm sure any of you could pull up 20 pictures where he looks just like this in the G1 toon. But I don't care about what the G1 toon is for my collection. And this just looks like a scrawny little dweeb. And maybe they're supposed to be. Maybe they were in the G1 cartoon. I've only seen the very few select episodes.
I'm actually stunned by how good this looks.
We're so different.
We are so different, and I love it. But yeah, I'm stunned at how good this looks. I'm really excited to see what the others look like. I know there was Vectron Labs that was doing. I know there's a Blast from the Past that was doing a Devastator, and we haven't heard from them in months now. But
and MMC.
And MMC, yeah, we haven't seen anything about their Devastator. So I'm just excited to see some new blood in the Devastator space, even though we have a ton of them. And I would still love a Computron. Knock knock. Anybody home, please? Thank you.
I hope you get that soon, but you'll probably have to wait till they get Devastator, and then Defensor, and then Bruticus, and then Menasor, and then
they have Menasor.
The C-Con. Well, they're still gonna. You have to wait for the other companies to do it.
Oh,
MMC's got to do it next. And then they're going to
do
the C-Cons and the Predacons. And then when all those are done, they're going to do the Tripredacus from Beast Wars and Magnaboss from Beast Wars. And then they might do Computron, because it seems like they hate you and they just don't want to do it.
I really feel that way. I mean, I have a feeling like we're going to get the Terracons, and Abominus, probably next. And we're still waiting on a Hunger from TFC. So, yeah. Hello, I'm waiting on that too. Thanks.
Yes, which we'll talk about that company in a little bit. Let's move on to this. So this is Pengu Toys Flame Blave Storm. That might be translated wrong. And this is obviously a Cyclonus that is a samurai. How much do you hate this?
This is Cyclonus juicing. This is Cyclonus on steroids. He is like so thick, and I can see Cyclonus, but then I also don't see Cyclonus, which is a good thing because I don't like samurais. This is something I think you love. This is probably right up your alley. It's different enough to not be G1. I think it's okay. I don't know if I'd pick it up or not, but I think it's okay.
I agree. I think this is an upscaled Iron Factory Cyclonus. I love the alt mode. I think that's really cool looking and unique. Kind of looks like a Shuriken. The colors and the finish also looks really good. I'm just not getting any more of these oversized Legends figures because they still look like Legends figures to me. Even though they're bigger than Hasbro figures, I can't look at that Jetfire without it looking like a Legends figure. So I will not be picking this up because, one, I don't want it, but two, because it's an oversized Legends figure. Now, if they repaint it in like black and, make it have a different head or something, and I could reimagine this as a new character, then maybe that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm probably 75% sure I'm not going to pick it up, but for some reason,
wow, 25% you would. That's way more than I was expecting.
And it is, and my numbers might be off, but I haven't pulled my calculator out to have a sit down with myself
to count the brain cells.
Yeah, I don't know what it. I think I like the alt mode somewhat as well. Like I said, it's different enough to look like a different character that I don't associate it with Cyclonus. I know it's Cyclonus, but I can see where it's potentially not. But I don't know. The alt mode or the bot mode isn't bad either. Again, I just don't like all the samurai stuff.
Yeah, because you have to remember, he was a samurai in the comics, the IDW comics. Don't ask me why.
Never read it. Don't know about it. Let's move on
to another Legends figure, and this is the X-Transbot Streetwise. I'm assuming it's a downsized version. I don't know if it's completely new tooling. I know you hated the MP version.
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Was. I
kind of want to see the transformation on this because you hated that one so much.
Those arms. I have another F word for fuzz, but I'm not gonna say it on these airwaves of YouTube. But yeah, that was a total debacle on X Transbots with that figure. That was probably the worst figure of the year to me. And this, I don't know. I mean, I definitely need to see it cleaned up. I'm not going to pick it up either way, but I do have horror stories about the fuzz. And then MMC came out with a Streetwise that was amazing. So,
and I think that was one of your favorite figures of the year.
It was. So, yeah, that's I'm not in on this, and I know you hate or you dislike X Transbot. I'm not gonna say hate. I know you dislike X Transbots.
Yeah,
so,
that's a better word.
So yeah, I'm totally passing on this.
And I don't dislike their figures. I dislike their quality control. So I gotta say, if they had better quality control, I'd be picking up more. But let's get into something that I think you might want. And there's a lot of stuff on here that you want. Oh, dang it. This is Mastermind Creations Double Dealer. What is it? Predator Nimbus. I do like their Grecian naming or Roman naming styles. The bot mode I think looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's obviously Deathsaurus, just repainted and remolded. But I think the bot mode looks kind of cool. And what about that tank mode? Is that your favorite mode of the bunch?
I don't like this figure at all. I do not like it. I do not like it next to a car. I do not like it in a bar. I do not like it Sam I Am. You know, I mean, it's like it's not for me. They just went way left on this, and I can't every time I see it, it is just like, what is it? I know what it's supposed to be, but it's too far removed.
I feel you. This I would rather get fan hobbies than this, but I will give it to it. I think this does have the best bird mode, and it still doesn't look that good. But out of all the double dealers that came out, I think this is the best bird.
I don't like those wings. Those wings look like
I think they're kind of cool.
Look like fingers. I hate that. I think the bird head looks cool. That's about it. And I like those
turbines.
Turbines, yes.
I think they're actually the wheels.
Well, they look like turbines. Well, the way they look there looks like turbines. They're probably
I think that's
the
what they're
wheels.
supposed to look like.
But
no. I think this looks fine. It's not for me. I'm assuming people that will get this would put it in their IDW collection.
Maybe that, and honestly, that could be why I don't like it, because I'm not familiar with that version of him. So
it's a repaint of the IDW version of Deathsaurus, which is why the wings look like this. That version of Deathsaurus had those type of wings. So.
Hard pass.
What about this?
I'm actually, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm a little bit out, or I shouldn't say out. I'm a little Predaking exhausted. You know, I wasn't gonna get this anyway because it's legend size.
I was just about to say, wow, you were gonna get this anyway.
But you know, having picked up 2 Predakings, you know, or finished 2 Predakings this year, I'm pretty good, especially all coming from Kang Toys. So unless they did something that was, again, another color and an MP scale, I get to save some more money.
Yeah, so this is obviously King Toys. They're calling him King Mini. And this is the 4th figure in the line. And he looks great for what he is. But again, I don't need a Legends one.
Those spikes on him. Woo.
Yeah, they weren't that bad.
Maybe
I'm just used to that. So let's get into 2 things that I added at the end because I was being self-indulgent. And that is Trans Art Tarantulas. So he's going to be ready to ship on 9/20. So that's very soon. Do think the eyes look like they're the wrong color. But this thing looks glorious.
So you're gonna
And
cancel your order?
no, screw that. He can have orange eyes. And I think if you look at the different versions with the different CRT TVs, I'm sure there was one that he looked orange in. But this figure makes me realize why you like the Toon Accurate figure so much, because it has a fake chest, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. It looks better. And I'm like, oh god, I'm sounding like Bobby. So I think this looks great, though. I'm very excited to have this. Now, will you be having this in your collection?
I think I have a pre-order in for it, and I don't know why. It's not as bad of a don't know why as the Ultra Magnus. I think that's probably my ultimate don't know why. But I do have this pre-ordered, and maybe it's because I have a couple of the other Transart Beast bots, and this will go with it. That's the only thing I can come up with.
I think you have it on pre-order because it's cheap, it's good quality, and it could go with your other figures. That yellow Magnus, yeah, it can go with your other Transart figures. Don't be shaking your head at me.
No,
but the yellow Magnus, I don't know why you got that.
I was like, hey, the 3 reasons you gave, those, spot on. That's exactly why. The Magnus, I'm
just like, you just got it because it was another version of a figure that you like.
I guess.
But
yeah.
Speaking of figures we like, here is the STC-01T Dark Savior by TFC Toys. I think somebody over there was reading my mind, so I could thank you to all of the. I could say thank you to me if you wanted this, because I, manifested it. One, it's called Dark Savior, which is like totally up my alley, and this thing just looks so cool.
So something I didn't realize is that I've had this pre-ordered for months.
Yes.
And since July, actually. So when we talked about it initially, I wasn't even aware of what it was because I hadn't seen it in color. I absolutely love the tread wheels on this. That is
me too.
Cool.
There's a lot of people complaining online, oh, the treads destroy the figure, and I'm like, it's different from the original one, so I appreciate that.
Yes, I love the little bat plane or bat jet, whatever.
Say Batmobile.
And so I love what they did with this. I love all those weapons. This looks like a true rolling death machine here, so I like it. And
yes.
I've had it pre-ordered for longer than I remember clearly. So,
and here are some bot pictures. Now, I didn't realize that sniper is sold separately, and that made me a little sad. But regardless, I really like how the wings could come around and kind of be like a cloak for him. I think that's really cool. And I really like that inner bot. I've always liked it. So I'm glad to see that it can even have a shoulder cannon. Here we have all the little pieces, and I really want to know the size of those boxes so I could find some Black Legends figures that will fit in there to be his little minions. I don't even know which ones, but I want him to have these little minions that can, fit inside of there.
So I watched a video on this, and they showed
all Motions video.
Yes, and yes. They showed all the little accessories that are shown here that don't come with it, and it actually made me want to grab some of these.
Yeah, the Diaclone figures. Me too. I actually looked, but they're all in like red and blues and stuff, and I want them in black or silver. And they're expensive. They're gonna, But this, I really like it. Here's all the pieces that come with it.
And that's a lot of pieces.
That's a lot of things. So it'll be worth the money. I'm very excited. Honestly, I think we're going to be getting a Nova Prime repaint down the line as well. Nova Prime Ultra Magnus colors, because that's who this is kind of trying to be. Mm-hmm. And I might be in for that too.
Well, I know I looked through all my pre-orders today. I don't have that pre-ordered, so so it's not.
What? Which one? The Nova Prime version?
Yeah, I'm saying so. I know it's not
well,
out.
it's okay. They haven't even announced it.
Yes,
so I'm just speculating.
Yes, all I'm saying is, I had this pre-ordered for so long that when we talked about it, I didn't even realize I had it pre-ordered. So I do know that if there is a Magnus that has been announced or whatever, I can say that it isn't announced because I don't have it pre-ordered.
Oh,
so
I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing to note with this, I think the little thigh covers that they put on the side really help with the silhouette too. The other ones didn't have that, so
yeah, this one.
I think this looks great.
This one, I like the way things connected to this as well. It looked like it was a little bit more sturdier. But now, with that being said, I do remember in some of the other videos for the other figures, things connected on really securely. And then when you got the figure, it didn't really do that. So hopefully this is what we get.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. But I'm buying this regardless. All right, well, let's move on to what's coming out. And if you guys read into the foreshadowing, we've got the titanium version of the oversized KO Grimlock. So this is different from the one we talked about a few episodes ago, slightly. Are you picking this up?
I do not think so.
Okay.
And because this one looks so much like the original MP Grimlock. So the other ones look, different. This one looks just like the MP one. From what I remember, I'll have to go look on my shelf again, but it looks pretty much the same. So no.
It does. And next, I think this is a Marvel Comics color. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the comments. Not comics. Please let me know in the comics if you do that and send me one of them. But no, if you know what this is, let me know. I'm assuming it's Marvel Comics colors that has that kind of color scheme. Will you be picking this one up?
I have it on the way.
Oh, already.
Yeah, I do have this one on the way.
It does look good, though. I think it's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different. That's exactly what I was going for.
Next, we've got a fourth party DNK. That's what they're calling it. 38 upgrade set for Legacy Motormaster. I think this would be necessary if you had one of these. Will you be picking this up?
I was on the fence about picking it up before because, well, the DNA I was out on because it was like $80 or something. This one came out and I was on the fence. I was like, maybe I'll get it. It probably will help out the Minosaur a little bit. It doesn't have as much, but it would still help it out a little bit. It's half the price, I believe, of the DNA.
Yeah.
And then when I thought about it again, it was sold out. So now that it's back, I'm on the fence now. I got to really do some rearranging of my shelves and see what's going to stick where it's at. I may still get this, though, just because.
It looks good. I will say that. Let's move on to what's recently released, and we are kind of going out with a dud. There's not much to talk about, but let's get into it. And the first thing, Bludgeon was cited, and so was Deatrius, because Deatrius was cited at my doorstep. So he was here today, and I forgot to cancel my pre-order, so Bludgeon is here as well. Unfortunately, he might get repainted. So I still don't like that Deatrius without the silver bumper, but that is G1 accurate. So yeah,
you snuck that one in.
I didn't. I literally got it 20 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, I have not gotten mine yet. In fact, I don't even know if mine's been shipped out yet. Ah, very good.
It wasn't supposed to come out till later. Mine just showed up. So same thing with the Bludgeon. I was so mad I wanted to cancel that thing, but I forgot. But whatever. Another story for another day.
Well, you'll have to let me know how it is. You'll have to send me some pictures. I want the Deatrius.
It looks better in hand, I'll tell you that. But I still think that bumper needed to be painted.
Hey, I mean, honestly, they should just come out with the new age color versions.
Oh, that's so much better. That
Oh,
thing looks nice. It's not tan. It's not flesh colored. It's like a tan because this thing looks flesh colored.
yeah.
So,
He needs to go sit in the sun a little bit.
yeah, exactly. Let's move on to fourth party Masterpiece Hound. So this thing's back in stock. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
I think if you need a Masterpiece Hound, go ahead and pick it up. It's not expensive.
Yeah. I would do it if I didn't already have one.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's everything we have for you today. Let us know which one of these figures was your favorite and why it's Dark Savior from TFC. And we will see you soon. What do they have to do, Bobby?
Oh, you have to like the video, please. You have to comment on the video, please. I love interacting with you all. Please subscribe. I mean, we're definitely on a mission here. And of course, share. You know, it really helps us out. That little second to do any of those things, besides the comments, of course, really helps us out, and we really appreciate it. So,
Yes, from the bottom of our hearts. Well, we will see you guys very soon.
as always, till all debates are won. See you next time.